My name is Rajah Sinjab, and I'm here to talk about trauma as an education topic. It's something that I've researched in my doctoral studies. I want to share what I have with you. There's going to be 3 different topics that we explore today. It's the personal trauma aspect, the intergenerational trauma, and the historical trauma, and how they relate to us as people. Because a lot of people think that this is just for a very specific person, but this is actually a whole cultural phenomenon that needs to be explained. So trauma can affect an individual, families, and the cultural standards that we are all living in. Personal trauma is the way that we usually see trauma. It's the definition where somebody has experienced something that has caused them immense suffering or pain. There's 2 versions of trauma. There's the big T trauma, which includes the serious injury, the sexual violence, and life-threatening experiences. Somebody's gone through a natural disaster, a hurricane, a tornado, they've lost their homes, or they've gone through a car accident and they may be paralyzed or they hurt their head. But there's also other traumas and versions that are considered little T trauma, which is parents neglecting their children or emotionally not engaging with their children, verbal abuse, and bullying at school. These are the 2 major facets of personal trauma that people consider. What does trauma do to a person? It affects decision making, memory, emotion regulation. And what does this mean? It means that people become in this survival mode, that their life has been threatened or they've been chronically over time been beaten down. So their mind is rattled, their mind is constantly racing. It can create anxiety, and the emotions that are ramped up are from the physical aspects in the fight or flight. So the body is responding, there's cortisol, the blood pressure can increase, the heart rate can increase, because we're going into that mode of I need to protect myself. I need to be able to survive. That response can produce our body to stay in that state as a normal chronic condition. Body stays in that state as a way of trying to assess whether there's safety in the environment. The body tells the brain that we need to be hyper aware. We need to be able to understand what's going to happen so we can protect ourselves and not be in this position again. Other responses can be the opposite, where it's not this hypervigilance, it's not this constant search for protecting yourself, but it's an emotional shutdown and numbness where you're not feeling anything. The numbness where you might feel depressed or a lack of connection with anything. People often feel lonely and have difficulty sustaining healthy, intimate relationships with others because the body can't calm down or feel anything. Trauma can affect someone's ability to function in daily life, how they see themselves and others, and their view of the world. The view can warp how we interact with the world. This image could be seen as mentally bogged down, where the stress and the anxiety and the heaviness of the world is just falling on this person's head and just caving in. While another person could see that this is flowing creativity, where creativity is outwardly channeling into the world and feeling inspired and excited. There's 2 different ways to look at this, and the way that we've experienced trauma can influence the way that we outlook on life. Personal trauma is an event that one person has experienced and has impacted their life and their daily functioning. If there's any questions, please feel free to put it in the link below. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Rajah, for the great explanation of trauma education, and I hope to see you guys soon.